Hello everybody, Bob Possible, and in today's video we'll be talking about Titanfall 2's beta tech test demo trial preview thingy. But before we do that, let's talk about March 11th, 2014. Now, why is this day special? Was it because of the drone strikes made on 79 Syrian villages? No. Was it because of the kid who ate 3 dictionaries? No. What about the hundreds of babies who were accidentally shipped to 79 different Syrian villages? No. On that day, the very first Titanfall launched, or dropped, for the Xbox One, and it was one of the most unique and debatably innovative first-person shooters of the past 10 years, and one of the best at the time for the next generation of consoles. And in my opinion, Titanfall started the trend of this faster-paced gameplay for shooters we see now. It had a magnificent parkour system, 3 unique and well-done Titan playstyles, great weapon balance with a little smudge, several game modes even if all you did was play Attrition. As well, Titanfall had a handful of amazing original maps, and though there wasn't a real campaign, the settings of these maps set up this picture of what could be an amazing, vast sci-fi universe. And once again, all of that is wrapped up inside a fun and immersive multiplayer. Now, after you've heard all these amazing things, laughing at a joke, listening to the warm and happy music playing, you feel good, don't you? And it gets better. The sequel to that amazing game is coming out very soon, 2 months. And what's that? You can play the game early for a couple of days? Well, of course you're going to want to play it, why wouldn't you? A game like that, it can only get better from here. Now, when you got a game like Titanfall, which did all of that at launch, and even got better afterwards, like adding things such as the awesome and chaotic 4-player Frontier Defense game mode, which was free by the way, you gotta think, can you top that? Fuck no! See, that unpleasant feeling you may have just gotten was how I felt and many others did upon playing the Titanfall 2 beta. Now, I'm exaggerating a bit. It wasn't unplayable, it didn't make me want to gouge my eyes out, but I wasn't enjoying myself. I could tell after my second and third game that something was off and wrong about this game and the way it played. Now, don't get me wrong, the groundwork for a Titanfall game is there. You can see it and taste it, but right now it feels like a lot of the small things are making a big difference, and not in a good way. Now, before I move on, I need to address the people saying, oh, you haven't even played for more than a week. It's only a beta, an alpha, whatever. It's a tech test. Listen, at the time of the test coming out, the game is 2 months from launch. Not a lot of major things can change. A lot of what we get here will resemble the final product. And following the line of consistency with EA games that are playable a month or 2 before launch, not a whole lot of major changes happen. And whether you enjoy it or not, that's why I applaud Halo 5 for having a beta 10 months, almost a full year before the final game. That is enough time to make changes, major changes. Halo Wars 2 is even having 2 betas. But back to those saying, oh, we shouldn't criticize or hate the game because it's too early. No, it's human nature. Hell, it's the nature of the internet to critique and complain. That's good. Someone make that their senior quote. Nonetheless, this is the time where we do need to express our opinions. We need to take advantage of these 2 months we do have and do what we do best. And bitch about something! No. For example, saying this game is like COD, that doesn't help now, does it? Saying Titanfall 2 needs to say, let's say, the grappling hook, that's good. That's better. But saying Titanfall 2 needs to change the grappling hook, and let me tell you why, is even better. But Pussy Master Password, didn't you just say 2 months isn't enough time to make a lot of major changes? Yes! But I also said Titanfall 2's problem is the several small flaws. And of course, if Respawn Entertainment did address several things, chances are they can't do all of that before launch. But they can do some, maybe a lot of it, especially if we tell them what's wrong, the earlier the better. And luckily enough, the people of the Titanfall subreddit have been doing that. I don't know about the forums, I haven't been there, but here's something to think about. The ones who can offer the best criticism are the Xbox players. Remember, Titanfall 1 was an Xbox exclusive. They essentially have something to base the game and bounce off of, saying things like, oh, well, the first game did this great, why don't we do this here? And of course, PlayStation players can have stuff to say and opinions, but the Xbox players kind of have to lead things in the right direction. Because while PlayStation players can offer opinions to make a good game, only the Xbox players can help make a good Titanfall game. Now, what is wrong with Titanfall 2? First off, I keep hearing this, and I personally can't find a source, but I keep hearing that the Attrition game mode won't be in the game, and is being replaced with the Bounty Hunt game mode, which I really hope isn't the case. Attrition being pretty much a beefed-up, larger-scale team deathmatch with several AI enemies and teammates to give a better immersion of battle. And what is Bounty Hunt? I don't fucking know, okay? The objective isn't clear, and the map it's on doesn't flow and doesn't complement Titanfall's gameplay at all. One thing I do know is that it shares a problem with Halo 5's Warzone, and that being an AI-controlled Titan boss comes on the map, and both teams start shooting at it to get points. And even if your team has done 99% damage, it doesn't mean a fucking thing, because whoever pulls off that last shot gets the points for their team, and that fucking sucks more than a vacuum on your cooch when your hard work gets stolen from the Belgium douchebag on the other team. Overall, the game mode isn't really enjoyable, it doesn't complement what Titanfall is about, the objective isn't really clearly stated, and right now, and most importantly, it's not a fun game mode. Next, adding Attrition. I think just about every shooter needs a team deathmatch, objective-free killing game mode. And the thing is, for Titanfall, that's where it plays the best. That's why it was and still is the most popular game mode on the game, because that's where Titanfall shines. That's like if Battlefield didn't have Conquest. That's the premier game mode. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, which can be said about a lot of things about this game so far. Now guys, neat little tip if you didn't know already, when using the grapple hook, try jumping or double jumping and it works a bit better. I think adding a grapple hook is an awesome and welcome addition to the fast-paced Titanfall formula, and personally I think it should be a standard ability. After using it, I was hooked. Pun intended. I just can't see myself not using it. It works decent, but it can be better. Let's go to the Just Cause franchise. Pretty much the series that made grapple hooks in games a thing, and one of the key features in that franchise, and it keeps getting better and better. Anyway, I feel like the Titanfall 2 grappling hook needs to work like it does in Just Cause 3, because right now in Titanfall 2 it feels like a floppy penis. Not that I've touched one. What I'm saying is it's got problems keeping it up. It being you, the player. In Just Cause 3, once you hit your target, your grapple hook does the work for you. It reels you in. You hit your target and it does the rest. Here it just gives a bit of a tug. More dick jokes. Anyway, sometimes it just drags you, almost. Essentially, the target is to be like Spider-Man, and not through reboots, but through fluid motion. And it's good to have the grappling hook again, but it doesn't feel as fluid and keep up with the rest of the fast-paced gameplay that Titanfall's all about. As well, maybe extend the range just a little bit and reduce the cooldown. I always feel like I'm just a few feet short, but that could just be me. Now, on the topic of movement, I can't really describe it, but other people see it and feel it. The movement feels a bit slower, the parkour doesn't feel right, there's just a snap, a click that feels right, and it's not there. It's lost a step this time around. Titanfall 1 hit the parkour system's G-spot harder than a sack of quarters smacking Iggy Azalea's face. I hate Iggy Azalea. Anyway, it was fluid, simple, and most importantly, it worked. I'm no developer, but I feel like it just needs more fine-tuning than fixing, if anything else. Next off, and this one worries me a lot, the maps. I don't know the names, but the big open map with the tower in the center, there's only 2 maps, so you should probably know. But the map is lackluster and doesn't complement what Titanfall is about. To be honest, it feels like 40% of the goddamn map is missing. The tower in the center, I'm not a big fan of, it's not a deal breaker, but the map feels empty and you're just always looking around for enemies, little cover, camping's an issue, which isn't good for Titanfall. And the other small map resembles, keyword, more of what Titanfall is about, but it feels a little too narrow. There's not enough room, you're fighting in the same spot. Now what worries me is these 2 maps suck eggs, and chances are there's going to be more bad ones in the final game. To a degree, these resemble the quality of the maps we're getting in the final product, and that's not good quality. Titanfall being as different as it is, it has its own style of maps, while still impressively making the location feel believable. This time around, I feel like these maps have kind of lost their identity. And Respawn, I'ma say it, don't shy away from a remake or 2. I'm just saying. And of course, I'm sure we'll get some good maps, but we're likely to get a few more bad ones as well, but I'd love to be wrong on that. Next, the time to kill is faster. I still haven't made a personal final verdict on if it works for me or not. I'm kind of leaning towards it being raised a bit, and a lot of other people seem to be that way as well. And and again, I'm no game developer, but I'm thinking a half a second to a second. I don't know if that's appropriate times. I don't know the metrics, the number. I suck at math, okay? But anyway, it needs to be raised just a bit. That's what I'm starting to feel like. Next, I can't seem to find it anywhere, but it seems the ability to make your Titan in attack or defense mode isn't available. Maybe it's not done yet. I mean, I'm no game developer again, but making an AI stand in one place doesn't strike me as something extremely complex. Anyway, I hope to see this feature return. It wasn't the most popular, but it was helpful. Next, and this is just the 2 maps we have so far, but there's no ziplining, which I forgot about for a while. Ziplining was a fucking awesome and well-implemented addition to Titanfall's already very fast-paced multiplayer formula, and it was a great form of transportation as well. Hopefully this returns to Titanfall because it's kind of like the token black guy in a movie. You just need it or you're racist. Do you want to be racist, Respawn? I didn't think so. Add ziplines. Anyway, folks, we're going to go downhill now, so this is kind of a speed run. I'm going to be going over a few final topics, then we end on the biggest fundamental flaw of this game so far. But anyway, let's go. The UI and HUD just feel cluttered, and it's a mess overall. The charge rifle shouldn't have an ammo counter. Having to choose between a secondary or an anti-Titan weapon fucking sucks, not a deal breaker. Sliding, I think, needs some tuning. Grapple hook needs to be a feature for everyone and not just take place of stim, camo, hologram, and pulse. Titan percentage need to be less like a kill streak and more like Titanfall 1's countdown timer. Titans need shields like in the first game. If someone grapple hooks onto a Titan, your chances of killing them are slim. We need more AI on the map fighting each other and enemy players. Iggy Azalea pisses me off. Titan percentage thing shouldn't decrease. Hardpoint needs to act like a regular domination/capture game mode and have the objective stay captured. There should be an option to switch between third and first person events such as takedowns and entering Titans. And finally, why not just have a regular point-based rank up system like any other normal video game? Maybe there's a benefit to using merits to rank up, but I always hate when a game tries to change something that works everywhere else and tries to put their own spin on it, like the hardpoint game mode. Just make it normal. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm not saying to conform, but if something works and everyone else does it, there's probably a reason. Now guys, as we reach our final topic, I also want to mention people are suggesting that this game be delayed, and to be honest, I'm all for that. Sales-wise, it won't have to interfere with Battlefield 1 since they're released within a week of each other. They have time to make appropriate changes, and if they release around spring, they'll have less games to compete against since less games release that time of year. And the holiday games will have already been out for a while, so people will really want something to play at that point. And the way gaming has been the past few years, I'm sure a good amount of people would have no problem waiting a little longer to ensure a game launch is great. Now guys, look, I love Titanfall, and I absolutely want nothing but for this franchise to succeed. It has so much potential, and I still think to this day Xbox should have tried to make the series an exclusive, because it could have been a console seller. And anyway, about the tech test, this unfortunately has to be PlayStation's first impressions on the franchise, and that kind of sucks. As well, Frontier Defense, I'd love to see that come back. It was an amazing co-op experience. All in all, as little fun as I'm having, I still find myself wanting to come back to the beta. Like I said, you can see and taste a Titanfall game, and there's a lot even more I didn't mention or don't know about yet, but there's a lot of issues, but I feel like a good handful can be addressed before launch, with a delay or not if we speak up. But hey, if you want to hear something good about the game though, no season pass. That's still some good news. But now we move on to our final topic, the worst part about Titanfall 2. This. What the fuck is this? Why do you tilt it? It pisses me off more than it should. I'm not even kidding. Like, when I saw this, I stared at my screen and said, what the fuck? Literally unplayable. And now that I think about it more, I think I'm gonna go cancel my pre-order. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to do those like, comment, subscribe thingies. Anyway, I'm out. Peace.